Oh, yeah, okay. So there we are. I had to wait for the delay to catch in there. Well, this was kind of my thing tonight. I've been calling this added, and it's like the factor X, because I notice anytime that I go to a site that I'm viewing somebody else talking about Delphi, the case, they always go back to things that I think are absolutely never a point. I'll put it to you like that. But I think that this occurs because someone who is looking into a case, researching a case, they go to other people's websites, view their content, and then take everything that that person says as a fact. And then they go to the next website and the next one, and next one, next one. Facebook is like its whole subject, man, just on its own BS, man. But normally when somebody reaches me in an email or on the telephone concerning the case, hey, Peaches, how you doing? Junie, Cam, Wombat, Monkey, nope, Nuts. So anyway, that is the dope I'm talking about. I have not, and I really need to think about this. I really do. I'm going to say in 4 years. I did say Kim. I said Kim. Kim, didn't I say Kim? I did. Oh, all right. Okay. Sorry. So anyway, this is the dope I'm talking about, because the people say that, and they do. And this has been over 4 years. They'll say, well, when I started like researching this case, and then I started concluding this research and they're talking about is viewing other people's videos. I mean, they don't take to like real evidence and then go look at that and microscope it. They pay attention to other people's BS theories. It's completely tabloid. And people send me these videos. Hey, man, have you seen? And I'm like, no, because I don't watch that horse shit. I don't want that in my head. I don't want their crap cluttering what I know to be true. I want people to stay off this dope and all other dope. I'm not, but this one in the degrees that we're talking about, that's what I don't want people to do. Now, I say that being one of those channels, but I do fashion myself to be very anti-tabloid. I don't throw out names if I don't know that they're true. There's only been 2 persons of interest that I've ever had. One was Daniel Nations, and the other one, TJB. Those are the only 2 people that I've ever really sat and just went over their lives. Might I add that no one, not even the news, went over their lives such as I did. No one even came close to what I did, especially with Daniel Nations. Holy shit. Yeah. Written, communication. Yeah, man. I mean, that was, but okay. I'm not just sitting there. Hey, David Clark. Hey, man, how you doing, Dave Clark? Man, I thought you was another Dave for a second when I first seen the name. So anyway, because how do I put it, man? You all know the person that I'm talking about, GK, right? Now, he may contend in your mind as a good candidate for a person of interest. I mean, you've heard other people speak about him, and you can ascertain that, yes, he does carry weight of a good person of interest. Tell me I'm wrong. You're wrong. And I'll tell you why. Because I know factually that the suspect does not have a criminal record. No criminal record. No fingerprints, nor DNA in the database. No, go to my case, Indiana, and then put in his name. You see what pops up? Yeah. And that's how I knew immediately This guy had nothing to do with it. But people out there, and I don't understand this either, man. People come to my show all the time. They say, man, long time viewer, man, catch every week. And then they throw something out like, something so tabloid. And I'm like, how does that play in? I mean, like Facebook rumors. Have you seen this video? No, I do not watch those videos. I don't watch any person's videos. Well, I mean, incognito and truth and justice. And I mean, not, in the bigger thing of Delphi, because there are people whose whole channels are dedicated, like mine, to Delphi. And it's those that I don't go view. Because if a person is doing a piece on Delphi, that's one thing, and I mean, I like to see that when they do that or discuss the crime and so on. But when a person goes into theory, speculation, this, that, and the other, I normally steer clear out of that because I always feel in the back of my mind that I know more about it than they do, and that's not hard for me to say. I'm going to say on the outside of law enforcement, no one knows this case better detailed than I do. No one. No, I don't care. I don't care what you think. I do. It's like 4 years. I don't even know what that is. Let's see, it's a BA. Is it like an MBA? It's not an NBA though. Yeah, I don't even know what kind of degree that would be, but it'd be 4 years worth. So that is what I would, I just say that because whenever somebody comes out with some stupid theory, and I really do put it like that, they tabloid in on that. They really get like deep into it to get those views from the tabloid loving audience, man. Like everybody's like, oh, this is such a great talking point. And they race to get there and view that, man. They have a button. And I'm all like, wow. And they got all those views over. Complete. That's how they do it. But do you know what, man? I did that going back like a couple weeks ago. That video monetized. I swear it, man. That video got monetized, and I'm all like, what? How? Man, I was bad-mouthing YouTube and everything on here, and they still monetized. You know what, man? Maybe I guess if you scream and yell loud enough over so many years, they start to listen. And somebody even got a hold of me, man, and they're like, yeah, man, I was just watching last week's video, and it's got like ads in it, man. I'm like, hey, really? Okay, cool. And I got the notification, man. Yeah, it's monetized. I was like, crazy. So that made me a couple dollars, right there. Also, this last week, I got a call from the other side of the earth. I got a call. I get up at 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay. I pour me some coffee and I sit down and I start drinking and waking up because before I get a half a cup in, do not disturb. I'm sitting there just coming out of this, getting into caffeine, nearing a half cup. Telephone rings. Yeah. Well, it was a lady from that was in Australia, and she had just came in. She might be viewing right now, although she probably may not either. I think she said it was kind of hard to tune in because like she was asleep at that time, So, but anyway, she called me from Australia, and she had just returned from, and I'm quoting her, getting pissed. She was out the bars, man, got home, man. It was like 12 midnight Australia time. She's like, hey, got an idea. Let me call that cat guy, let me call him. So she called and I picked it up. She gave her name and I'm all like, I don't know what to make of that name, but I could instantly tell Australian. So anyway, man, we talked on the phone for about an hour and a half. It was really cool, man. It really was, because it was the first time I'd ever spoke live to somebody on the other side of the world, and I thought, somebody on the other side of the world knows who I am and's got my telephone number. It took years and years for everybody. on the other side of the planet to know who Christopher Columbus was. It's called one up on him. One up, man. One up. Columbus. Want some more, dude? Huh? Want some? So anyway, man, it's a really good conversation. She said she was originally from England, and then they had moved down there. And anyway, man, it's really cool. And see, she was doing like a Southern accent, American accent. She's like, I can do a Southern accent. Like, okay. You know, and it was kind of cool hearing somebody try that, man. That was like an English person in Australia. No, it sounded pretty Southern, you know, in an English down south kind of way, you know. Yeah, and I was telling her, I says, you know, I mean, over here, I mean, think about it, man. How many people do you really know from Australia that, I mean, like you see in here? You know, there's the rare few that are on television, Crocodile Dundee, Steve Irwin, you know, so forth like that, you know. So that's how we really, you know, see the Australian accent, you know. And she was saying like, oh, yeah, man, people like, you know, you run into an American and they think like we got kangaroos in our backyard. We don't. Like, you know, well, wait a minute, man. Australia, the land of marsupials, one. Okay. If I'm thinking somebody's living in Australia, well, I'm not thinking they live in the bush exactly. If they do, survey says they may have an issue with kangaroos. Let me put it to you like this. If I hear thumpings, man, I mean, like over here, I am not thinking any kangaroos are coming, you know, like there's a flock of kangaroos coming through. They just don't happen. I mean, like an opossum, yeah, but yeah, I mean, opossums, yeah. But there are only marsupial really in Americas. So, but anyway, it was definitely cool to talk to somebody in Australia. And, you know, oh, show dedications. Pennsylvania deer hunters and Mary Woods. Thank you guys for all you do. This show goes out to you. And see, and Wombat Dundee. Never get to speak to him though. You know, has he ever called me? No, never has. Oh yeah. Totally. Yeah, we got foxes, man. No doubt about it. Oh, you know what? And thank you for that because it kind of furthers into my special guest who will be coming on a little bit later in the show here. But you know what? If I don't know how many people tuned in for the special guest or how many people just showed up because it was 6 Tuesday. All right. But no one wants to miss the special guest coming up tonight. I give you this promise. No one. See, it's like I'm hiding behind words here. Oh, and Raider. And Raider too. Okay. I will throw that one out. Yeah, I like foxes, but I have one issue with foxes, and that is this. Foxes love chickens. And a fox with puppies in the springtime will just destroy a chicken population within a week or two. Like just snatching one or two a day, taking them back to the puppies. So out here, as far as that goes, if I see one in can, I try to off it if it's like in a season. Because, I mean, they're beautiful and I love foxes, man. I mean, I do. Believe me, it's a pity should I have to kill one. But at the same time, man, I mean, it is kind of my thing to oversee the chickens. Yeah, well, you know what? Coyotes never really had much of a problem with coyote. Never have. You know, the coyotes, you know, they come in at night, whereas a fox, they'll come in the morning, the evening. And I think that that's what makes a difference because, you know, by the time they've roosted the hen house, game over. You know, a coyote ain't going in there, but a fox, man, fox go in there and just destroy them. Oh man, I heard the coyotes last night. It's fantastic. I had a choir of them out there, man. You know, and I could hear them inside my house, and I was like, wow, they must be right out back. There was a bunch of them going on. Yeah, Katie, we do. That's one reason why I like to keep the chickens here, because, you know, we can certainly, you know, spread the eggs about to anybody that wants them. They're free. You know what? I think we got a fox and local coyotes that go through here. And normally the fox nests pretty close, so it can just come in, grab a chicken, and leave. And then once you know they're there, they move. And then they come in at a different time. Oh, really? Well, I have at least my time here on the property came up on. You know what? I could round that off and say approximately 10 coyotes on this property in the daytime. You know, just at the right time when they're out kind of moving, man. And then there they are and they see me and go like, oh, take off. But fox wise, the foxes aren't all that big right here. Or if they do get bigger, because I mean, we got the red fox and we also have the gray fox here, but it's always the red fox that we see. Yeah, exactly. I love that, man. I do. Love to hear coyotes, man. Love the fact that we got fox out there. Yeah, sly as a fox, crazy like a fox. Fox News. So let me kind of get right to this. Hang on one second. God, man, damn it. Hang on. Why does it do? Okay. Well, you know what? It shouldn't matter. All right, let's see. What are you doing? What the world are you doing? The collar's just a bit big, isn't it? You're going through grass. You know what? That grass is as tall as you are. Yeah. Yeah, that's high grass. So we should put some high-ass grass. A little Jack Russell tail. Totally got the colorations of a Jack Russell, don't you, buddy? right, come on, bear. Come on, little dude. It's no time for leash tunes. Come on. So there you say, wow, 58 comments. Holy crap, I'll never get through all of them. So that's my new puppy right there. Now, this is kind of how it went down. Of course, I was looking for a rat terrier. And I put up, like, in the post-its in town, rat terrier, puppy wanted, unpapered just fine. Yeah. But my next door neighbor, their daughter, and they have a Chihuahua, and it was, sired by a Jack Russell Rat Terrier cross. So I thought, well, I looked at the pictures and I thought, that's pretty good. And then they had like him, and he was kind of a St. Bernard color. They were only like 4 weeks. I said, well, if you could hold this one back, man, I might want it. I might want that here in a couple of weeks. Well, the post-its did not work. So yesterday she says, yeah, I'm bringing your dog to, so I'm all like, okay, all right, man, everybody prepare, ring the cottage bell, let people know he's coming, man. He's en route. So I do have a puppy. Now that right there, that video was done right before the show started. When he is not outside or sleeping, he becomes a bitey, whiny little baby. Make no mistake. In fact, I thought about calling him bitey, whiny little baby. Or looking up a foreign language for the king shit. One or the other. I don't know. Well, I can't call him the king. I mean, he is a prince, so to speak. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of my puppy. Now, he's not going to get real big. I mean, like I said, because, I looked at the dad and the mom. The mom was big Chihuahua. She was like the bicolored brown with the tan. And the dad really had more of a wire hair Jack Russell-like. And a lot of that coloration, man, on a Jack Russell really came out on him. The black with the white tip curl, really cool. So I was going to actually have him right here with me, but he's asleep. He is sleeping right now, which is not odd. Hey, Kim, all right, thank you. Day before yesterday, he was 6 weeks old. So he is very young, and he really was just off the nipple. And I sat here yesterday and was feeding him individually dunked kibble bites. It was like teaching him to eat, and he caught on, man. He was wolfing one down and going to the next, I thought, right on. Because when he wakes up, he scrambles, man. He gets his play in and right back out. He's keeping up with the baby, man. I go to bed at night. You know what he does? He whines. When he whines too? I get up in the morning. That's when he whines too. And then once I get up in the morning, you know what he does? He goes to sleep for the full day. Yeah, he really knows how to play that, man. Yeah, you know what? My mom had a Chihuahua, and then she had 12 Chihuahuas. 12. She had a flock of Chihuahuas in her house. It's like, wow, somebody must just walked by. But they're great dogs, man. And again, it's like this one here, because it's not a rat chi and it's not a jack chi. It's a rat jack chi. So I don't know. I don't know how this could go wrong. Just a beautiful puppy. And I looked that breed up, and they're really good looking dog. They say they're really good. They're smart dogs, and but they're really stubborn dogs. So yeah, they can learn stuff, but then they'll just turn around and not do it. Watch. Hey, sit. You watch him get up and walk out of the room. Yeah, that's the kind of dog that's the kind of dog he'll be. See it coming. I gave him pig. I had to break off like little pieces and kind of squish him down, but gave them to him. Those are kind of special reward treats. Got the little clicker on hand. So I'm trying to raise a good, healthy puppy. That's what I'm about. Okay. So now let's take this to Delphi. I wanted to kind of speak a little bit on this. You know, I had somebody get a hold of me on an email the other day, and they says, it won't be long now, you know, and it will be your big day, you know, when he's shown to be the suspect. And I told him, I'm like, yeah, and sort of. I mean, it will certainly have its. Thank you, Sabina. Thank you very much. Like 3 pounds, and you know, I told him, I says, but it's really about that guy just being caught. You know, once everybody knows who it is, then that much of it's over with. You see where I'm at? I mean, once everybody knows who it is, great. Then we all can focus on the same guy. I spent 2 years saying, look, this is who it is. And I think I really do. I think a lot of the reason that people do not, I mean, I could say fact check. I could say, go look up what I say. Go look this up and see if it ain't true. But then I'd have to be like, okay, now look at the statistics. Now look at what the FBI is doing. Now look at what, you know, because it all plays hand in hand into what's really going on. And I think that a lot of these, I don't know, man, maybe I could call them like the straight dope channels, man, like the cartel tabloid channels, you know, people that are out there offering you a line and saying, no, even rock stars do it, dude. Of course, it ain't addicting, dude. No, it's, you know, is that that's how they're pulling you in. Don't be taken in, because you know what? Time is nigh, man. The time is forthcoming here in just a brief bit, in just a little while. So when it gets here, and I'm hoping like 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. I mean, like we should know well within 4 months. From Scotland, really, Kevin Carr from Scotland. Hang on. I love Scotlanders, man. You know what? Being the true king of Uganda, am I not your last king? Am I not the last king of Scotland? So I'm trying to sound like Idi Amin. I really need a bigger voice, though. But anyway, yeah, man, Scotland. Right on, man. And thanks for being here, dude. Appreciate it. Is that there are a lot of these channels, and people send that stuff to me, believing in their head, when I always make this same prognostication here that I don't watch that crap. Well, did you know that this, and then send me a video, and I'm like, please don't send me any further of that, man. I mean, it is like trying to get rid of the National Enquirer that's being sold by like, man, what are these people called? Jehovah's Witness, man. They won't stop knocking, you know. That's how they do it. You know what? I can't really speak on that. I mean, save it to say that it's a could be, but I doubt that it is. I mean, but I don't really know. I do know that alcohol was probably always used as a I don't even know how to and you know what, probably somebody else knows the right verbal thing there. But that's what he used like pre-crime. Now I say that he used, but I think that he used it often. I'm not saying that he was an alcoholic. He could have been. But I am saying that he always used it prior to crimes, as that's what kind of generated the mood. You know, his brazenness. you know, the will to act upon, you know, what he wanted to do in his mind. And I think that of all things, because if ever, you know, you are talking or you see somebody like interviewing a real serial killer. Yeah, Dutch courage. Exactly. And, you know, BTK said that. He says, well, there was a person that lived down the street from me, and they were going to be the last. That's the one that I had already marked on the last. He goes, because I would go out driving, and he goes, that's what they call stalking. That was me seeing somebody and then marking it in my mind as a maybe, and then started viewing them. Well, in most cases, serial killers stalk. However, TJB might be, and I only say might be because there's only so many that I can point to. 4 cases with the possibility of the 5th, but that really has yet to be determined with Susan Collins. I mean, I haven't seen enough to sway me to either side yet, but I haven't seen the full of what each side has either yet. So I can't really say. But I'm sorry. This fluid here, and I think it's, what the hell is this? Tiramisu custard. It tastes good, but it always leaves this like right in the back of my throat. But anyway, he would go out and drink, I feel, and he wouldn't really stalk, but he would. I mean, understand, this is a guy that's driving a lot over long spans. He had a trip advisory. Kind of showed where he went, where he was headed to, places that he had stopped, like diners, you know, and he would do the reviews on the diner that he was in and so forth like that. So this guy was out traveling. And I think that his method of stalking people was stopping at small trails, you know, and I think that that was his idea. I mean, understand that this is a guy that I'm saying, anyway, take that however you like. You can take my words as you want, but you did show up and I'm live, so, you know, gotta pay me an ear here for a minute. He would stop at these small trails from one place to the other in small towns, you know, and he would watch because he could, you know what, you, me, anyone could go over to Monon High Bridge Trail any day of the week and sit down on a bench and see how many people walk through. You know what? You could probably count an entire day's worth on 2 hands. That's how many people actually walk that trail. I mean, we went out there on a super nice day, me, Greeno, and Tony, and we went out there for like long hours. Man, we was out there probably over 3 hours. Did not see one person at that trail. Not one single person. Beautiful summer day, man. Nobody there. You know, so I think that when he goes to those places, and I suggest that he had been there many a times prior to, he was probably there waiting at those times because he foreseen that this is a good place. It's hiked, but not a lot. You know, so if somebody comes through, you have access, man, to grab them, snatch them, and head up the way before a hiker coming up behind them would come along and see you. You know, so again, and I think that that was kind of his method of stalking, you know, and it's no different than see an opportunity, take an opportunity, see a place where it could happen, go to a place where it could happen. You know, I don't believe that he is. And this is a video I made a long time ago, actually pushing about 2 years ago. And it's on my channel. I mean, if you go to my channel down there, Michael Catt, and then go to videos, and then you trace that back to about 2 years ago. I have one on TJB, you know, comparing his crimes to those of the I-70 killer. So here's kind of my quick take. The I-70 killer would more or less stop in. he would stop. I'll put it to you like that way. And he would keep his eye on a convenience store that had a woman clerk. Now, when nobody was in that store, aside of the clerk, he would go in and I'm just throwing an example. Yeah, man, could I get a pack of Marlboro back there? And when she turned around to reach for the pack of cigarettes, he'd shoot him in the back of the head with the .22 rifle and then split. That way he wasn't making a big ruckus and people would come in. But that's how all of his crimes went. Shoot the woman in the back of the head and then leave. Every single one of TJB. I'll put it like that. Every one of his crimes, sexual motive. At the deepest level of it, sexual motive, power, sadistic brutality. He's a sadist. He's a sadist serial killer. I can point to three cases where it was a brutal rape in 2 of them, and they had DNA and fingerprints. TJB was living right there. One of them was right outside of his hometown, population 650 people, but she came up missing 2 miles east of there on a highway, when he was living in Flint. Kind of crazy, man. Kind of crazy. But just like Delphi, they got fingerprints, they got Delphi, or they got DNA. Well, who did it? Oh, we don't know. You see, we need that magic call. Well, you don't need that magic call. I suggest that they knew all about this before the end of November 2018. That's coming up on 2 years ago. Oh, really? It auto-corrects you on here? Oh, you're on the phone, aren't you, Don? Hey, Jean-Claude. I'm really missing the... Yeah, and you know what? Hang on. I think somebody right up here said it. Yeah, you did. Correct. Yeah, and I kind of hesitate in using that term because when I went and looked that up, and the method I was using to look up the I-70 killer was YouTube, because they don't have a special website where you can go look at the I-70 killer, to my knowledge. So I started watching documentaries on what he had done. Well, I came across it looked like a reality show, kind of, but it had a John Kelly profiler on there. And then I was already to the side of thrill killer is what that guy was, whereas this guy has a sexually motivated, power trip that he's trying to create in his fantasy. So he said, and I quote, concerning the I-70 killer, he's a thrill killer. And I'm like, shit. So now I got to go on my channel and, back him by repeating that. So I told everybody when I made that video, I said, yeah, and I got to repeat somebody else's words. One's a thrill killer. The other is a sexual sadist. 2 different guys completely. Yeah, you know what? I get that all the time. How would you do it? Would you go tell them everything? Would you go tell them the entire investigation? Would you go tell them all the necessary stuff that's going on within the case that, yeah, we already know and this is exactly who did it? Please go tell the world and really screw us up the backside so that we can never nail this monster? Yeah, if you do, fair enough. Me, I'd be a little bit more bright and I would keep this closer to my vest, and then I would nail that dude, and then I could take it to the family in one piece and say, you're welcome. You're welcome, Delphi. We got him. That's how I operate, though. I might be a little different than others. Uh-oh. Somebody's awake. I don't think that all that many are from Delphi. I mean, man, we got people in here from Australia, Scotland, England. Just name a few other countries. Man, what the hell? Hang on. There we go. See, now I don't have to look through that. Wombat. See, I don't know who Wombat Dundee is, but my mind suggests Wombat and Dundee, Australian. No, hang on a minute. Let me go get him. Oh, hold tight. Yeah, come here, dude. Hey, what you got going on here? Yeah, all right, man. Hey, get yourself video ready, all right? Get yourself all video ready. Ah. Just like Angelo Dundee. Except he wasn't Australian. All right. Anyway. Yeah, this is him, man, right here. Hey, puppy, look in the camera. Right there. Hey, no, right here. Right, puppy, look. Hey, no. There you go. Yeah. Got the rat terrier in him, don't he? The Jack Russell, man. See, look at that little tail. Yeah, cutest little curly tail. Bam. Wow. Hold that up, man. There you go. Make it look like your little show puppy. Yeah, now I got to baby him. I got to baby him while he bites me. Guess that's what you do, man. It's how you got to do it, I guess. I don't know. That's the way they told me. And I believe in what they say. Thank you. Thank you very much, man. Thank you, man. Very prideful of my puppies, man, And right now, we're talking about like creating a whole pack. We want like a terrier breed of mankind. We want to call it like the Terrier Terrors. Okay, we was thinking like it would fit well into like a plot of a movie, like the Terrier Terrors, Just a thought, random. Puppy came up with it, not me. Don't point fingers. Yeah, you know what? I don't really I don't know how he's going to exactly look. I mean, and they tell you that you really don't. You don't know to which side that they're going to take them more toward. It's like him, Dad Jack Russell. He's colored Jack Russell. He's a male. He also wants to bite me just like a Jack Russell would, So, yeah, you're sliding, puppy. Well, you don't want to slide. And he was born, I believe it was August 7th, which was a little bit, God, man, it's like 33 days after Wolf's birthday, is when he was born. They wouldn't even be in the same sign, together. I don't even know what his astrology sign is, but I'm going to look for it. Yeah, you know what? A lot of people say that, because of his ears and the tricolor of his face. But at the end of the day, when he grows up, his ears should be up. And if you look at the like Jack Russell Terriers, they got that white top of the tail with the white end and the black right under the eyes. But he's also got Chihuahua. So, I mean, I don't know how that's going to blend, but it should be cool, man. It should really work out well. I mean, like, man, look at him right now, man. Hey, he's a bundle of joy, man. He's a nonstop biting machine. I love that, man. I do. He just, like, owns that hand, man. Just, wow. No, he is not part beagle at all. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I tell him, man. He's got like the magical puppy breath, Yeah, so I mean, everybody says beagle. He does not have any beagle in him. I mean, the brown that's on him is the Jack Russell. I mean, I've seen the parents. Kind of an odd sort, man. A mutt and a Chihuahua, but the mutt was Rat Terrier Jack Russell, and I was like, yeah, it's Wire Terrier Jack Russell, Yeah, Jack Ratchy. Yeah, Jack Ratcha. Or was that a Jack Wawa or a Ratchwee? I don't know, man, something like that. Anyways, let me get back on topic here. And please, for the love of God, share this video. It's got to hit social media in a big way, in a very big way, because I mean, look, I need my puppy out there, man. I need people to know I got a puppy. I want to get in video ready. like right off the bat. So, man, I forget who asked that, and I'm sorry. But yeah, I think because if I look up in Lennon, Michigan, and that's where Mary Pryor, she was 83 years old. She lived right across the street from its only bar. They only had one bar in that town. And that town is approximately the same size as Burlington is here, right beside me. It's like 400 people, something like that. It's less than 500 people. And they had one bar. Mary Pryor lived right across the street from that bar. You see where I'm at? He was leaving the bar. There she was. So, you know, he hopped on it. And then the people that lived there in Lennon, Michigan are like, who in the hell would have did this? You know, who would have did that to that sweet old lady? Everybody knew her. We can't trust anybody. We don't know who did it. You know, and they had DNA and fingerprints. A Leo, really? Man, dude, you're a Leo. You're a fire sign just like me. Oh, I can't wait, man. We'll get along perfectly. Yeah, we will, man. Yeah, man, we're fire signs, dude. Yeah, I got Leo rising. You see where I'm at? Yeah, all right, man. Thanks, Peaches. You rock. So anyways, and then the next one, 2 years later. Now, take into your head here that Genesee County is not a huge county in Michigan. It has Flint in it, but Flint is the big city. That's it. Yeah, I would say kind of a prime example would be like Howard County. Well, Howard County has other little towns in it, but the main city there is Kokomo, you know, Kokomo, Indiana. And it's kind of like that because, I mean, again, I mean, if I'm pointing at Burlington, it's a different county, but it's like I sit right on the county line. But like there's a lot of small burgs like Burlington in a city like that. And in 2 years in Lennon, small population, drinking establishment there, a rape and murder of an 83-year-old woman. Strangled to death. DNA and fingerprints left right there. Next, 2 years later, right outside of his hometown of Montrose, population 600 and some people. He's on his way home back to Flint, man, leaving the Montrose bar, 2 a.m. Car broke down. There's a pretty young woman. Opportunity. You see where I'm at? It's like when the opportunity presents itself, he hops on that. Or he goes to a place where he's seen before is a good place to look for opportunity and then waits for opportunity to arise. This is kind of the way that he stalks, you know, is by looking for areas where people would hike, but not a lot. That way he could keep an eye to the outside on who's hiking and then go down and make the choice as to who to abduct and where to take and what to do and so forth. Look, man, just tell me if I go too deep. You know, if I start going over people's heads, man, contact me immediately right down there in chat and say, dude, right over my head with that. I have no idea. I don't even know what that means. They never phrase it the way that you do. And I believe that's got to be true. It does, man. If I was sitting here and I was the sheriff of Carroll County and I was telling you shit, man, the whole world would be glued to what I was saying. I sit here and tell people what's going on. You know who? It's like you guys. Well, population 3,000 people. That's who I got on my side on Delphi. 3,000 people. And I look at the numbers and I'm like, apparently, just maybe, I'm not saying it in the right way. Maybe, just perhaps, I'm not. Maybe I'm saying it in some weird ass way and some kind of way I think makes sense and people don't understand it. But if law enforcement said it, everybody and their half brother would know it word for word. So I'm wondering, like, where's my screw up, man? Where is my screw up? How is it that I'm not explaining it correctly? Oh, yeah? Yeah, I hadn't seen anybody that was really, yeah, he did. He was 11 years Navy. And you know what? That's a good point. Because he went in approximately the same time as I did. Now, I went into the Army, but I went in Friday, December the 13th, 1985. And I think that he went in the same year, probably so many months before me, I believe. But then again, I mean, it could have been 86. It was one of those, but it was like right there because I thought I was already in basic on the 1st of January. But then when I looked at the time that Challenger blew up on takeoff, I'm like, oh, yeah, man, that was at the end of January. Like, okay, so man, I must have got there a little bit later than that. But I was there like right after Challenger blew up. That's when I went to basic. But anyway, on that, now he went into the Navy. Now, in one of his last posts on Facebook, he told a lady that was a friend of his on Facebook, he's like, yeah, but I only have 15% hearing in my right ear. I'm like, he only has 15% hearing in his right ear. Well, he couldn't have gotten the Navy with only 15% hearing in his right ear. And he was only in the Navy 11 years and did not retire. So I wondered, well, did he have like an accident while being in the Navy that could have caused that loss of hearing in his right ear? And I still don't know I don't know the reasons why he left, but I know that after he left in 96, shit hit the fan in Michigan because that's where he moved to. And I don't think that's where he began. I think if you look out in California, like around 93, when he got his divorce from his first wife, there's others out there. Plus his kid, when his kid was born out there, life-changing things that kind of make you feel less in power. That's when these sadistic fuckers go out and kill, and like, hey, you know what? It isn't nobody's fault in the world that life's shitting on you, man. But when you go on others over that, that's when the rope needs to be made, because I don't feel comfortable having people like that in my world. I don't. I just don't. In fact, I keep myself away from most people. See, now look, man. If anybody was watching last week, do you see how that spot moved down here this week? Do you see what I mean? It's always like some place on my face where it just looks like, oh, I didn't shave there. And it's like, okay, I can kind of brush that up. But all annoying. And see, it's coming back, man. Yeah, anyway. Let me get back on this. So anyways, I don't think that he could have joined the Navy with only 15% hearing in his right ear, but he never said how it was lost. Now, when the stylist was on my show, and man, that's going back now, but she was on here and she called and she said, I knew him in California. So I was talking to her on the phone and she goes, well, when I seen that, he was arrested for the Catholic supply store, the lady said, I was in shock. She goes, because I knew him out in California, and him and his wife, man, were like very helpful, and that they would go out of their way around Christmas. She goes, I was at his house around Christmas, but she never heard, and this is what's weird, she never knew that TJB was married before that and had kid. I know of at least of one kid that he had at that time. She said, no. I think that, his wife at that time was his only wife. And I'm like, no, not even. And, he had divorced his wife 2 or 3 years in advance of Stylist meeting him. And I think that Stylist had went to him and his wife for help. And I think that that's why he had her over to his house in or around Christmas time. Because she said one of the times I was there was right around Christmas. So I'm like, yeah, cool. But she says, I found it so hard to believe because it always goes back the same every single time. If you talk to somebody that knew Thomas Jerome Bruce, they're going to say the same thing. He was a great guy. He was a good guy. He was friendly, man. He would, and they will say all these good things about him. But then when you look at what this guy goes out and does, it's just like a flippant reverse of that. Thank you, Sabina B. I appreciate it, man. Yeah. So, man, it's got a little timer in that. You know what? I didn't know that. I mean, I guess I just never looked, man. But like right up there, man, on the 5 up there on the top, man, it's about halfway done. I should leave them up longer, like especially if it's got a question, we can get to and stuff. Oh yeah, man. See, you say puppy loving, man, he's gonna start crying, are you? Man, he's biting his back toes. Man, how cute is that? And now biting my hand. Ah, yeah. Remember when Wolfie used to do that, man? When I'd feed him stuff on his birthday, and I'd go, "Ah, stop biting me." He never really bit me, but I would always do that, and make that he was biting me until he had no teeth. Then when he had no more teeth, man, I just made like he was biting me. Ow, stop, dude. Ouch. Don't bite so hard. I miss Wolf, and you know what? There's a downside to that, because when I have a dog beside me, and understand, I'm looking at this from a third person's view here. I am, man. When I'm sitting down and I got a puppy beside me, I start talking to that dog exactly like it's Wolf. Right down to, I think it was earlier today, man, when I said something and I says, "Ain't that right, Woo Bear?" And I'm all like, "Oh, that's right, you're not." And I thought, man, that might have been getting him a little early, because that's what you want to work to, was the other dog and the missing it and everything, before getting a new puppy. Because believe me, man, for anything good I can say about Wolf, I could probably say the same as, true as about this dog, but every dog is their own person. You know what I mean? You don't have two dogs that are identical, It's like Wolf, man. I mean, his dad, the dog I had before Wolf was his grandfather, but we had puppies out of that dog that were over there. And then one of those puppies, out of my dog, got pregnant by my dad's dog, Jasper. So, he was selling the rat terrier puppies. And then that's how I got Wolf. And it's just that Wolf and him are two different breeds. They're going to be two different dogs, each with their good points, each with their bad points, but you love them just the same, because you said, that's going to be my dog and I'm going to love it. There it is. That's on you. And I will love him. I will. Well, I'd like to see one day him wearing a crown. I'll put like a Burger King crown over his head, man. Go, something like that. So, back to the topic. TJB, before he sexually assaulted the 77-year-old, I'm going to say he was at least intoxicated when it occurred. Prior to the Catholic supply store, he was at a liquor establishment. He was at a drinking establishment. Both cases in Michigan, each town was a one-bar town. Each case, one was right across the street from the bar, and then the other is 2 o'clock in the morning when he was leaving the bar. And that is why, that's why when I called them with my tip on that, because they had a hotline on ANPAIDS. So I called that hotline, and I was telling the lady the name of the person. She's like, "Oh, I think we already got that name." I'm like, really? And she's like, "Yeah, hang on a minute." And she looked and she's like, "Yeah, we already got that name given to us." I'm like, "Was that recently?" She goes, "Well, I can't really comment on that. It's anonymous hotline, dude." So I'm like, "Okay, well, thank you, man. Thanks. Cool to know." And I thought about that for a minute, and I'm like, you know what? It had to be one of the people that he was drinking with that night. You know, because when they brought that up, being a little bitty town, not much bigger than Burlington right here. When somebody's car, man, is like found outside of Burlington and then their body's all raped and shit, you know, it's like only a few miles away in a country ditch, you'd be like, who in the hell did that? You know, I'd be the same way on both of them, man. Like, who in the hell would have did that? Like, what do you mean you got DNA and fingerprints and you don't effing know? Like, who in the hell did that? You know, and in both cases, DNA and fingerprints, DNA and fingerprints left at the crime scene. In both cases, nobody to point to. Very much like Delphi. Exactly like Delphi. Fingerprints, DNA, no one to point to. Same guy, though. See, because in all cases where there was DNA and fingerprints, they all matched back to each other, and they knew it was the same person. They just didn't know who that person was. And I think that that's what occurred up in Michigan. They had matching DNA and fingerprints between those crimes, could not go to the public and say identical. They're the same. Same person is out there randomly, brutally murdering people like that. Man, Genesee County would have crapped down their pants knowing that, you know, because they would have knew that there is some madman out there, some monster, some wicked mother armor man is out there that will do that to an old lady, you know. Rule 6, sorry, son of a bee, is out there. Well, nobody wants that. And same thing, man. I mean, like right here in Delphi, because the important thing is on this is that the guy is caught and everybody knows it. Okay? Because once that's done, no matter whom it is, you know, it does not matter who it is. I mean, it really don't, because that's the bigger purpose here, is the fact that that guy is caught and he has charges pressed against him. They know who did it. And, you know, he's going to be brought to justice. And that is the bigger point. It is. And I told this guy that had reached me, man, I says, like, you know, because I was never working for a reward. And again, I go back to my old channel, because I've told people time and time again, you will never get that FBI reward, because by the time you hear it, it's going to be on the news. Same with me. That's where I got the guy's name from, was off the news. You know, you're going to hear about it from the news. So unless you know this guy, unless you know him and he told you exactly what he did, you're never going to get that $250,000. I said, nobody is ever going to get that money. You know, unless they turn him in, they will never, ever get that money. So, and again, that money does need to go to the county and families anyway, I feel, because if it is the person I think it is, then the police department down in St. Louis turned him in, but that was doing their job. You see where I'm at? So they couldn't really get the federal money for it. So since they couldn't get the federal money for it, it should go to the counties for their expenses and to the family, and split in half between Black Hawk County in Iowa and Carroll County in Indiana. And that would be really big. So, like I said, it was never my point to solve the case. In fact, I'm not saying that I solved the case. I think that what I have is the best out there on the market. I don't see anybody else running that. Well, I mean, within reason, you know what I mean. You know, but I don't see anybody else out there building everything on their channel upon that. And that's what bothers me, because I think, well, how am I failing people? You know, how am I failing in what I say? How can people look at what I say and then go, well, maybe that's true, maybe it ain't? Well, did you go look? I mean, did you go check it? Did you actually go do as I said and go look? Because at the end of this day, it's all TJB, and they ain't nobody else. Now, I've been saying that for 2 years, but again, man, time's getting short. So, puppy, we just went out. And we just went out before. In fact, man, you know what? People seen you go out, dude. They did. They did. You're on camera, bud. Come on, man. Well, okay. Let's take that to be so. If people don't go look it up, then when somebody says, I'm looking into a case, what is it that they mean? That they're just going to buy other people's theories and BS without any other knowledge on it? Because if so, mankind has let me down in a very hard way, very bad way. Because I always took humankind to be smarter and brighter than that. And today, I think people pick up their cell phones like, Google, did Thomas Jerome Bruce kill anybody in Delphi, India? Say, man, it just says POI, dude. Yeah, you got to trust Google. That's what people do, man. Google, do people do that like I said or not? Yeah, see? Yeah, people do. People depend on Google like it's real. Google ain't fucking real. Google hadn't been real in years. It gives you, what's the name of that one thing? Snipes or whatever? Snopes? You get on Snopes. Is that true? Well, what does Snopes know? Snopes don't hand out truth, man. You want to know if something's true, look up the background on it, man. Look up the history. Look into what's going on, what's really going on, not what people say is going on. And I do like to stand on that. If it comes out of my mouth, either A, law enforcement said it and it remains as fact at present, or B, I am making a rightful natural assumption based upon what I know to be the facts, evidence, and circumstances, and how it relates to TJB. That's all I do. That's what I do right there. What is DuckDuckGo? Really? Man, see, I don't see all these names, man. I do not see the names. I mean, Michael Russell. Hey, are you from like Radio International or something like that? Are you? Michael Russell? Because if you are, I had one of your, what's that, American Radio International? Man, I forget. But anyway, man, this guy, A. Michael Russell, and he's got a video channel on YouTube, and he does like the sound thing, man. You know, like through Adobe and Audacity. And that's how me and Greeno learned to do the sweeps, man. After we had each ordered one, man, we seen that guy making a whole thing on how to make sweeps. And we sat down and just started making them on Audacity. And then we started getting good at it. So if that's you, man, right on. You know, if not, though, just the same, man, right on. You know, I'm on your side. But, you know, if you are, how cool would that be that you were here? Okay, man, my chat died. Anybody know why? Does anybody understand why my chat died? Am I still live? Hold on, man. I'm waiting for my chat to come back. Quick second. See, last time, man, okay, chat died, man. Come back, chat. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, it only died for a second. Man, I've had this in the past, man. It'll go in about an hour and then, you know, it'll stop. And then all the missing ones just, thank you all. Thanks for confirming my expectations. StreamYard is not doing its job in a proper way. Incognito. Who are you talking about? Incognito? Well, yeah, but I have a phone. I mean, if I know this number, I got people calling from Australia, the other side of the earth. Take that, Columbus. Yeah, what's some? Christopher Columbus never had people from the other side of the planet calling him. Okay, so no, I don't. Yeah, it should be. I believe it is. Let me check. Yeah, I do not need no cellular phone. Factamundo. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, you know what? Didn't even have the ringer turned on. So, yeah, I got the phone, though. It's turned on. Kind of swapped the things here. Oh, yeah, man, you can call it you're ready. Wombat Dundee. Man, see Angelo Dundee, man. He was Italian, wasn't he? Yeah. See? And Crocodile Dundee, man. Why is Dundee like, a Australian name? Makes me think. What? Your puppy's 84 pounds? Is it a grizzly? That's a big puppy, dude. It's quite a big puppy. Huh. All right. So, was you calling? Just wanted to know, since I got the phone and all right here. If you are ringing a little bit. Hey, stuff. What's up? Yo. Hey, what's going on, Incog? How you doing?
I'm good. I just wanted to call you. I was going to, if I knew your phone was on, I would have called and said, hey, we're good. We can see you when the chat was out. But, you don't have a cell phone. I can't text you that.
Not going to have a cell phone.
I know.
They're evil.
It's a shame.
It is. I agree. I agree.
So that's all I had.
The ringer wasn't on. In fact, I didn't even turn it on today, man. Probably had people calling me all day. Didn't know. Didn't have to answer in a grumpy way and be like, what? Oh, hey, where? Oh, hey, I'm sorry.
Well, that's what babies will do. They'll keep you up all night, and then you get grumpy the next morning.
Yeah, it's true, though. But come on, man. Look at him. Yeah, man. Who wouldn't want to be woke up like that? You know what I mean?
Oh, my goodness.
Who wouldn't? It ain't me.
He's so adorable.
I know, he is.
So cute.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's asking what you're going to name him. Do you have names you're throwing around?
I really don't. I wanted to go with El Jefe until everybody was like, what? El Jefe? Huh? And then after the third one, I'm like, you know what? I don't know what his name is. Call it whatever you want, but be kind.
So somebody said Puff. And
Yeah, you know what?
You call him Puff.
I was thinking about Puffy Bear B, going back like Puffy Combs or something like that. But the thing is that I kind of called Wolf that. You know, that was kind of like a sidekick name for Wolf.
Oh.
Yeah, but again, man, Wolf had like a million names. I don't even think I could sit down and name them all, man, that he had over 15 years. It is a list of names, and he knew all of them, man. He knew when I was talking to him and when I wasn't. And I had the important ones. I had the ones that were urgent. I had the friendly ones. I had the baby. You know, there was just so many freaking names, man.
Well, for a long time, I thought his name was Bear.
Yeah. Yeah. And people will hear me call him Bear and think, I thought his name was Wolf. It is. Well, why you call him Bear? Wolf Bear? You know, it's I don't know. That's how names evolve, man. And a dog kind of picks his name, you know? A dog picks his name.
I think he looks like a hoss.
What, this puppy?
Yeah, he looks like a little hoss. He's going to be the boss of you.
Yeah, until he's like this big. When he's full grown, he's all like, you know, and I'll be like, hey, calm down, hoss. You know?
That would be adorable.
Yeah, maybe. Well, you know, I mean, honestly, if I had my way, I would have had like a teacup Yorkie, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're adorable.
Oh, God, man. They're like this big, man. They think they're a mastiff. You know, they're like, and their hair raises up, man. I'm like, yeah, he's going to go kill him. Look out, you know.
They're expensive.
Yeah, they are. They're way expensive.
Yeah.
But they're very long-lived, man. And I mean, like, seriously, what do they eat in a day? This much? You know? It's like really easy to keep one. In fact, man, I had a friend, man. She had one, Spartacus. He was. I mean, he was cute as all get out, man. But if he was a male dog in his yard, man, he was going to go out there really pissed off and ready to fight. And that's when you had to like dive on him, you know, because like that other dog would be like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Really? My God, man." I would hurt this thing nipping it. And that's what I'd be afraid of. You know, I'd have to have him on like a little keychain at all times.
You'd lose him. Where'd that dog go?
I would never lose a dog. No, dogs are like foremost importance. Big time. So what's going on in Cog's world? Anything?
Hey, I do have a little bit of mind trivia for you.
Yeah.
I got an email. Sorry, my throat is all froggy. I got an email too this week, or it was a comment, I don't remember, about the New Direction video. Right. And what I thought about how the FBI was not at this 422 presser. And I can't remember word for word what they said, but it did give me food for thought.
Go ahead.
The FBI was very present in the very first presser, then the first year presser, then the second year presser, but at the 422 New Direction, it was just Carter and Tobe that was up there, no FBI. So do you think it was Carter and the Sheriff's Department in Carroll County that said, all right, the FBI stuff didn't work, so we're going to take what we think and go our way that we've been thinking for 2 years and turn it more local away from what the FBI was saying?
Quite contraire, Monfair.
Okay.
Because for this reason, I know that they have DNA in Delphi, as do you.
Okay.
Right?
True.
Okay, and most people that have looked in to this case know that Carroll County has suspect DNA. Now, that DNA from that person, if that person had ever left DNA at another crime scene of like kind, they would know because they would match from one case to the other that this DNA matches the DNA left here. This DNA matches the DNA left here. So I think that the FBI, as soon as like it was done, because they was covering forensics, that's from Sheriff Lesenby right off the bat. They are also giving their forensics to us. Now they had the DNA, and the FBI knew at that time that, and I'm talking minimally, I'm talking as minimal as I can. They knew that that same DNA was found at 2 crime scenes of like kind up in Michigan. And, you know, I'm not even excluding California, Missouri, and other places where he may have done this. And they knew that there was a man that was traveling, that was doing this, but they didn't know to whom it was. So I know that Delphi as well knew that. You see where I'm at?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, Delphi, local, we always held on to the fact that, well, and that's kind of the way that it was being pushed in a way, that we feel that he's local. Well, they may have been saying that he was local, but they already had the evidence that this same guy had committed other crimes in other areas, you know, of the same brutal type. So I don't think that it was ever held from local. I mean, they wouldn't say, well, we tried it the FBI's way and they're failures at this. We know better, because to do that, man, would, yeah, you know, I mean, this is the FBI, you know, they can take down anybody in the world. So I don't think that they would back away from that. But I think that it was the FBI that set up that briefing. They said, look, you got to set this up in a different way and act like you're talking to the guy. That way it's going to sell it that that guy's still out there. Okay. You're going to give them what it was is that we was looking in off the beginning, that he's local to there. Say his age is 18 to 40, but you don't know an exact age. You know, we'll give them a separate mug shot than the one we had. That way they're not going to make any connection to St. Louis. You know, we'll put out the video, but we're going to pixelate it so that the video doesn't look any different than the images that we first gave them. We're going to give them a different word, but it's going to be a higher pitch, but just one word. You know, and we're going to do all this and lay it out there like, now we're changing our direction. And he throws in to the suspect, you never thought we would change our investigative direction, but we have. Well, what's the change? You know, what was the change? What did they give us that was the big change? You know what? We had photos. We had the first sketch. You know, we heard the audio. What was it that they gave us that we didn't have? They knew the video wasn't going to do any better than the pictures because they already knew who did it. It was all a way to relieve themselves of further investigation. Because now when somebody called in on that, they knew it was bull crap. Now they didn't have to go investigate it like they did before because they already knew who did it. You see where I'm at?
Absolutely, all valid points, and I'm like, you know, that's something that I wanted to bring to your attention and talk through, and this was a prime opportunity to do that. So.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
DJ So Cool's here. I don't know if you knew that.
Who?
DJ So Cool. He is here now.
Well, hey, DJ. Welcome.
Yep. How you doing?
Well, I'll let you go and get back to your show.
Oh, well, hey, man, I was just hanging out talking.
I know, but I've got math homework with the kids, so.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I'm in and out, so.
All right. Peace.
All right. Take care. Bye.
See. Yeah, man. You know what, man? See, Stuff Morales, man. He's talking some truth there, man. Throw his thumbs up. Get him up high in the air. It only takes a second on my invisible watch. Hang on. You could have already clicked that like button 4 times by now. How you doing, dude? Hanging in there, doing my cat thing. Oh, well, actually doing the puppy thing. Don't know if you got to see the puppy. He's adorable as all get out. Just a whiny, bitey little man. Gotta love that of him. He just sits and bites and whines all the time. Yep. Love it. All right. So anyway, Let me back this up a little bit further. All the way to what I would feel would be toward the beginning. If, and I do not know the circumstances, the evidence, and thus forth of Susan Collins, that I can maintain this, that the acts that were brought upon her were very brutal. Very brutal. If you was to look at the history of that county, you will probably not find another rape as brutal as the one that Susan Collins got. Now, she was found, her body, in a park right outside of that base. And I forget that, was it Millicent? Maybe that's the town. But like right outside of there. Now, of course, they got that Schmidley Alley guy, and they executed him. But Barry Scheck says that TJB was at that base at that time. If that is true, if Barry Scheck has something to show to say, yes, he was, and here it is, he was at that base at that time, then there it is. For me, I would say the best person of interest, bar none, in this country would be TJB that would commit those actions. So that is one, but see, that happened in 96, or excuse me, 86. That was like right after he joined the Navy. And now I could go back beyond that and say before he joined the Navy, when he was still living in Genesee County, Michigan, he could have, but it would be an old case. It would be a way old case, but it would still be findable somewhere. Because, I mean, this is a brutal guy. But then it begs the question, when did it begin? Okay. Did it begin after he got the injury? If he got an injury, maybe that's why he's only got 15% hearing in his right ear. Did he get a head injury that caused this to happen? And he didn't know? I mean, you know, in his head, he couldn't resolve why these things were happening, but felt comfortable in going with that. Or was he born and became a sadistic killer by his parents' nurture of him? You know, I mean, there's two possibilities. But the thing is while a person can, and that's one thing that they kind of put on Jeffrey Dahmer, is that he had a head injury when he was little. You know, and they said that might have caused it. But then he says, well, no, because I don't really remember at all feeling any different after that. And it had already kind of started before that, you know. So I don't know. I mean, that's one of those things. And I'm sure that there's a criminal psychologist out there that could go way deeper than I can on that. But, you know, I just look at it as there are too many things that are unknown, just like the crime. I can say a lot pre and post crime. But from the time that he reached them on the south side of Monon High Bridge to the time that he left where I believe that they were at the crime scene, I don't know anything about. You know, I don't know anything about that because nothing was ever told to me about that. I can't break that down by what I know because, I mean, like, why would I? Why would I even try to guesstimate that? But I can't say who did it. I mean, I can't, you know, it's just as somebody says, well, can you place him in Delphi? Yeah, I got video and audio of that. You know, of course I can place him in Delphi. I know his route. I know he'd been there before. You know, I know that he's seen that as a place to go be if he was seeking opportunity. And he was seeking opportunity on that day. Why? Why on the date of February 13, 2017, was he seeking an opportunity to kill anybody? Throw it in chat. Could be dedication. Yeah. Kroger thrift car. I don't really know, Bantry. I hadn't even been to his channel in recent, man. We'll check it out. What is it? I mean, does he just did somebody put a Kroger gift card up or something? You know what? Good idea, Barry. That's a good point. Because I had touched upon that with Sheriff Lesenby. I said, well, if he is local, you know, then he would have had to walk in here from Delphi and walk the tracks back. You know, I said, I mean, do you guys believe that he's local? Well, we've kind of looked down that path, you know, but he doesn't really say, well, we've looked down that and many others, you know, so he kind of leaves that open. But at the same time, he said, because I said, well, you guys never mentioned the vehicle. He thought, and he's like, you know, we never did. But I know that a vehicle is very important in solving a crime. That's why if somebody's seen in a vehicle leaving, they always give the make and model of that vehicle, because that way it helps you line up and say, hey, I know somebody that's got a vehicle like that. So they didn't. But then 2 months later, they did. And they bring a car up, but they didn't give a make and model. They just said one that may have been there from 12 p.m. noon till 5 p.m. that day, or in an area through that time. So it's kind of the way it looked. But then again, and what they said really answered some questions, because me and Greeno had covered that, man, extensively. Where would the guy have parked at? If he had a vehicle, where could he have parked and not been seen? And there was just very little out there. You know, it was like, yeah, but in February, you know, you can see into the woods. There's no leaves on. You know, you're going to leave tracks. There's going to be, you know, an area. Law enforcement would have been up and down that road with magnifying glass looking for any tire tracks, any place that he could have stopped. You know, every place was covered like a blanket, and they still never mentioned the vehicle. So we was like looking over, thinking like, well, where? Now they got that Samuel Milroy? The place where his cabin was. Now he's the one that said down like on the shores of Deer Creek. You know, Samuel Milroy. He was one of the first people to live there. You know, in the Delphi area. Now he could have drove back up that pathway, and that's what Greeno always put forth. Well, he could have parked back in there, because you could go back in there a ways. But at the same time, man, it was a nice February day. What if somebody was to walk back there to go look at the stone and where his cabin was? They would have clearly seen that over 3 hours. And I thought, you see, for like nobody to show, for everybody that showed up, for nobody to go back or see or go by that little area, I thought, yeah, it seems a little odd, but I mean, you know, it could be if he drove. Hey, Freckle Joy. Hey, man, right on, man. Thanks for being here. Man, I thought I gave you a wrench, Freckle. I thought I did. Oh, man. Okay, hang on one quick second. Just real quick. Nope. No, don't want that. Okay, how do I don't even know how. Okay, give me a second. I know what I'm doing here. I think. Speaking of, man, I got a hold of Ted Barris today. I'm like, hey, dude, man, we still got to talk about HPD 77. He's like, yeah, we do, man. We sure do. I'm all like, well, that might be the last I heard of that. All right, hang on. I want to get this on YouTube so I can. Like, well, that might be the last I heard of that. Bam. There we go. Oh, wait, man. You are a moderator. Oh, well, it shows on here. It don't over here. Sorry, everybody. My bad. Well, they got him. I mean, he's gotten. I can put it to you like that. He's been put on notice. And where's Leslie? Oh, there you are. Leslie, dedications went out already. Leslie Hill too, though. Totally. Yeah, you know what? If there is anybody out there who has not watched Incognito's channel, she's right there in the chat. Kind of copy that name and go put it into YouTube. You'll love her channel, man. Try to watch it whenever she's live. Very good channel. And you know, as a host, she rocks, man. She really does. I think that everybody that she talks to, she really brings out the good in them, and she's got a really good voice. Are you subscribed? You only got a couple months to be like one of the first 3,000 subs ever, because when it comes out of his name, my channel will blow the fuck up. You heard me correctly. Blow the F -- up is what it will do. Because if you put in TJB or TB into YouTube, my channel pops up. And they will delete my channel before they let me get in the way of ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, HNN, you know, all that shit. No. They got to have their paid for media guys make that, man. Yeah. Sorry. Hey, C. Dorton, man. How you doing? His jury trial begins on October 13th. Kind of. Okay. Puppies, when they breathe, it's like, he's just got this little squeak when he breathes out. Kind of funny. Man, there. Okay. What did Kurtz do? Kurtz named a bodybuilder? Okay, man, like 80 people here. Do I have 80 likes? Anybody? If you're speaking of them eating dinner the night before Valentine's Day and they had a dinner date that night, if that's the one that you're speaking of, yes, I do. Because he would have left here at 3 p.m. Eastern time, going back into Central time, losing an hour. It's a 4.5 hour trip at normal speed. He drove quick. He would have been there by 6 p.m. His wife got off at 5. He would not have been late to a dinner date, period. But I doubt that her story holds much water. I know that she was talked to by the FBI. I know that being the wife of a man that the FBI is now knows many murders that he's committed, they probably told her, do not discuss what we have talked about with you to anyone. And if anybody asks about where he was, say you guys had a dinner date the night before. That way we don't have people thinking he was in Indiana or elsewhere. So that's how I felt. Now, Greeno at that time was going out of his way to make me look bad. And I thought, man, what a dick. What a dick. What an asshole. Man, he stayed here for like 2 years and then he goes around and like acts like that. I thought, man, that's kind of bullshit. Would I have done that to him? No. Hell no. Would have gave him straight up props. Greeno, hey, yeah, what do you do? But for what it's worth, you know, Greeno's come around on that, I guess, maybe. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I hadn't spoke to him about it, but I don't know, man. I just don't feel that Greeno's a person that can look at real data and go, whoa, that's bullshit. You know, go like, well, that fits everything, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Yeah, I covered that already. Man, been there. Like, did that already. But I do in everyone. But thanks anyway, Leslie Hill. Reversible dates. She nailed it. She got it, man. So the show is, of course, also as well hereby dedicated to Leslie Smith because the reversible date. That's why he was in Delphi looking for opportunity, because it was the reverse date of Evansdale, which was on Friday, July 13th, 2012. You reverse 7/13/12, you get 2/13/17, Delphi. That's why. He lost his job 1 month, 30 days prior to both crimes, was unemployed during both crimes, knew where Monon High Bridge Trail was from his travels to St. Louis to Michigan and Fort Wayne. He knew where the Hoosier Heartland was because he was always looking for small trails. That was his stomping area. That's where he would go to seek opportunity. That's why he had been there before. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that trail at Monon High Bridge Trail. You get on it, you walk 15 minutes, you get to the bridge, you turn around, you walk 15 minutes back. Ta-da! That's it. That's the whole highlight of the trail. It's not a huge expanse. The property I rent here is larger than Monon High Bridge Trail. Throwing it out there. So, and again, when you're on Monon High Bridge Trail, when you leave Freedom Bridge walking to Monon High Bridge, everything on your left is private property. Everything on the right is Big Hill going down to Deer Creek. 6 men, you walk it from Freedom Bridge down to a thing. 20 minutes later, they're not at this trail, sir. No, we can ascertain they're not here. That would been as quick as it should have been. But hundreds of people for 6 hours. Think about that, man. Think about it. And I'm not saying that that's a lie, because everybody said there was hundreds of people searching out there. Well, they ended the search at 12 p.m. If I was alone, completely alone, and had never been there before, had never even been to that place, I could have looked at a map and said, I'm going to take this north route all the way down to the next county road, 1 mile or so straight through. You have somebody down to my right with a big light going back and forth and check all the lower area. I'm going to go through Mears right across the Logan's. And then on this side, you guys go through theirs, up through the next property, on back down to the next road. In 2 hours' time, by myself with one other person, we could have cleared that entire square mile. Now, how could 600 people for 6 hours not find them? That's what's crazy, man. And again, I mean, my only way to really look at that is when they hit that ravine, they said 2 girls would not have walked this way and crossed this big ravine going nowhere. They had no reason to walk back there at all. They wouldn't have just went out hiking and got lost in a horse field. So it's one of those things. 5 more likes. Is it because of the puppy? Is it? You're getting puppy likes, man. That's right. You need to get hungry too. Oh, yeah? Yeah, it's Portland people out killing folk. Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, I look at that stuff and I'm just like, yeah, well, what do you want me to do? Oh, Portland, Indiana. Oh, really? I didn't even know we had a Portland, Indiana. I know we got a Cuba, Indiana. We got a Mexico, Indiana. We got a Lebanon, Indiana. Didn't know of Portland. We have a Santa Claus in Indiana. Did you know that? What's with the one, man? No, Oregon. What? Oh, it's a Jack Russell rat terrier male that was crossed to a big bodied dual colored Chihuahua. He's like the brown with the tan over the eyes. It was sired to a female like that. Tell me he ain't got the looks of a rat terrier though, with the hair color. Look at that little curl tail. That's something, man. Bing! Yeah. Puppy likes, man. And they called it puppy love. Yeah. This is me and my puppy. We go places. We pack. We're getting our terrier terror pack, man. One I like this channel. Yeah. Yeah, kind of, man. Yeah, like I say though. I mean, he's got the rat terrier look. I mean, the Jack Russell look by color. And when I look at, like, you know, his color, and then when they grow up, they really do have kind of a longer face Jack Russell kind of look. Man, I'd like to see him get a little bit of that fuzz hair, like right here on the scruff, you know, around his face, like around the ears and stuff, like a Jack Russell. I think that's just so cool, man. Lollipop, what's going on? Sabina B, Karen Perez. The entertainment's free. All you got to do is show up. Be here. Game on. Yeah, he is, man. Thank you very much, Karen. Yeah, you know what? It makes me happy to have a good-looking dog. It really does. But then again, man, if I had a really ugly dog, I'd think the world of him. One mean crap to me. It really wasn't, man. Ugly dogs, man, just as cool as the good-looking dogs, man. Sometimes even cooler. You know what? You know, I may, and it kind of depends on what happens with Greeno. Because there is no way I can go down there and cover that with a puppy. You understand? But if Greeno's here, then he can watch the puppy while I go down there and hit that real fast and bring the video back, because there is nothing more that I would love to do than to get to St. Louis, film that. Just him coming out, man. Anything to where I could yell a question to him. Because you know what? His reaction is going to be breathtaking. Breathtaking. Man, I'm setting myself up to get murdered. You know? They're going like, man, he's going down there and yell shit. Make sure he don't do that. He'll die a suicide long before that time, sir. Guarantee you. It'll be a bad suicide, man. We'll jack him up with heroin or coke or something. Yeah. You know what? I don't think he does, but I don't know that he doesn't. Never seen him with the cigarette in his hand, but then again, I never seen him with the beer in his hand either. You know, and the same goes for, is he left-handed? Well, he was pointing at that cop and yelling, but when he was using his left hand to, you know, when he was enunciating these words. Hey, no, you. Well, I always do that with my right hand, but I'm right-handed. So I don't know if he smokes. I know he does drink. I mean, I've seen him intoxicated, but I've never seen him smoke. But then again, I mean, in all of his regular pictures, I had never seen a beer can in his hand or one that's like in the background of any picture. Never none of him slamming a drink, nothing like that. So it is what it is. Oh, no, you know what? I'm glad you bring that up. And wait, oh, crap. Where did I just see that at? There it is. Bam. No, I haven't yet, man. But you know what? You just put my mind to it, because I was thinking the other day of what flavors I need to order, and that should be one for fall. And last fall I did have pumpkin spice, and it was good. It was very fall-like. So when I go out in the fall, man, I'm like, oh. You know, I wanted to reminisce of being fall. You know, I want the sound of like dry leaves crunching under my feet. You see, I wonder about that, because I did. I mean, I considered that, because I put that in there And the reason that I put it in there about him pointing and yelling at that cop with his left hand is because in one of those pictures that they gave us, it looks like a black band on his right hand. Well, who would wear a watch or any kind of a band on the right hand would be somebody left-handed. Then when he's yelling at the cop with his left hand, I thought, well, it could make him left-handed. But at the same time, I can't say that this right here is anything because I've never seen another picture with him wearing something on his right wrist. I mean, I'm hypothesizing, if you see where I'm at. Well, honestly, he's brazen. I mean, you know, once he gets to that satisfactory drunk, that's where the crimes become midday and brazen. He will take chances. And in every one, he has taken a chance. I mean, God, I couldn't imagine how somebody could walk out of the bar, see an elderly old lady, and then go back and rough her up and brutalize her. Well, you know, it's like, what? There's no room in my world for that person. You know, they should not exist. And the mere fact that they do, you know, if they're not going to seek the death penalty for his crimes, then what in the fuck do they got the death penalty for? You know, who are they saving it for? You know, who's that right malicious motherfucker that, you know, they're going to give it to? Because this guy right here fits the bill in a hard way, in a very hard way. Hang on, man. I got to slam some soda. Yeah, exactly. Well, same could be said for all of them. Oh, really? How much did you get, dude? 26. Did you get one? I'm guesstimating one 60 milliliter bottle. I'm guessing. Could have got a 2 for like 120 for a 26. Let me know. Stash like a cat. You know what? It depends. I mean, if you're talking about in St. Louis, that is very doubtful because there was no need to identify him from another. They knew who they was looking. I mean, the ladies knew when they arrested him, once they had traced him down and they got everything, there was no need for the ladies to really identify him. Now in Delphi, they could, but they wouldn't have a lineup. You see, they would have pictures of this guy, I'll call him TJB, and have pictures of other guys that are kind of similar in appearance to him, and then hand those pictures to the two people that I know seen him. I leave others out. I don't know. They was never be told to me from law enforcement, but I do know of two. Now, of those two, both of them would have identified him via picture. And I think that that's how they would have brought it forth to those people was, hey, you know, could you look through these? And I'm sure that it was done even prior to that. If they had any suspicions on a person, could you look through these and identify that person? You see where I'm at? Now, they could have did that. And I'm suggesting that they did that probably right after St. Louis contacted Carroll County. And that would have been, God, what? November 22nd, 23rd of 2018. So. Oh, he's below 6 foot. Totally. In fact, I think they have him listed at 5'7". But if you think of somebody's 5'7", all right, and they have on like heeled boots, you see what I mean? You know, you wouldn't know. Well, is he 5'9", 5'10"? Well, he could be somewhere 5'8" to 5'10". You know, it's probably how somebody would look at it. All right, man. I'll see you in a minute, sir. Prentice. Yeah, puppy sitter. Yeah, I take my job serial. What? Look, this is the same thing I tell everybody, man. Because there's always those people out there that are like, hey, that smells really good. Can I try it? Yeah. And they go, what do I do? You hit that button right there while you inhale. They go, and they just get this like paranoid, like freaking out look on their face. They're like, oh, man, I can't hit that, dude. I said, that's because you hit it wrong. You don't put your mouth over it and just like, mouth inhale it, man. You pull it in like it's a bong, but you leave the sides of your mouth open. So you're pulling air in with it. So I just put it up to my mouth. I could turn this thing up to like 75 and just lay a waste, in front of me, man, of cloud. Yeah, exactly. You hit it wrong. I mean, I can hit this, no ill effect at all. Nothing harsh. Nothing. It's in the method. It's the way that you hit it. And I'm telling you, because if you hit this thing wrong in a wrong way, like if you try to put it in your mouth and do it like, you're going to feel it right on the back of your throat every single time. It's in the way that you hit it. It's the amount of air that you're pulling in. Oh, okay. Sure. Sure. I get it. Cher is spelled differently. I remember Cher from a different time. I remember Cher when she was the most beautiful woman in the world, 1971. God, man, I used to watch Sonny and Cher, man, when I was just a little bitty dude and be like, man, damn, that's Sonny. He's living the freaking dream, isn't he? He probably goes home and punches a hole in that doggy every night. What a dick. What a douchebag. Yeah, I remember Cher. Thank you very much, Nancy Jones. Yeah, exactly, Cher. Sherilyn, man. You know what bothers me about Cher? Is this, man. She came off, man, playing Indian. Okay, she is not a Native American. She's like Romanian. And when I found that out, man, I was all like, that liar. Because my grandparents thought that she was found and, she was like alone and was raised, she was a Native American. Come find out it was just a big lie that was being like played on everybody back in the early 1970s. Yeah. No, she wasn't Indian at all, man. She did like half breed and all that. Man, she was lying. She was just lying. No different than that Camilla Harris lady. She ain't even African American, man. She's Indian. Not Native American Indian. I'm talking the country, India. Like where you call AT&T and the guy goes, hey, thanks for calling AT&T. My name is Jeff. Hey, Jeff. How you doing, pal? I go by Abdul Knievel. How odd that we should meet, Jeff. And then when you find out that even if you press 1 for English and you still get somebody that's foreign, it's because those countries actually spend the extra money to seek less revenue spending in a foreign country. And do you know who's paying for it? You are. Yeah, they got you right by the sack, don't they? Me? Oh, no, I was born in 65, sir. 1965. I look damn good for my age, though. In fact, in 2 months, I'll be 55. Can still run 2 miles anytime I want to. I never stop hiking. I'm a natural disaster, man. Need to start lifting again. Oh, no. Did you see what Todd pulled up? Well, Carroll County has another homicide on its hands. How many does this make in a couple years? A few? I will lay odds. I will lay huge odds that this killer and the Delphi killer are not one of the same people. Not even in the same rowboat. You know what? Now I've been in a couple mock oh, are you talking about the mug shot? Man, that's God, man. How many times have I had my mug shot taken? I think I've always had shoes on when I got the mug shot. I don't think I ever went in there in bare feet. Oh, all right. Thank you very much for being here, Incognito Society. I appreciate it. Appreciate everything you do and all mods do. Love you guys so much, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, it is strange. Now, you know, if I go back in Carroll County history, and it is still yet to this day unsolved, but the first one that I know of, unsolved homicide, was that of Llewellyn Mabbitt. And of course, they got Amber Green for that. But they hung Amber Green and he never completed trial. So it left it in the air. Did he or didn't he? Because we didn't get to talk to him. You know, so nobody will ever know the truth on that. But to my knowledge, and the only way to really find that out is probably get a hold of the ID channel and get them to come out, dig up the remains of the remains that were found, that doctors at the time of 1860 something said it was Llewellyn Mabbitt, but the body had been in the Wabash River for like 6+ months and was there deteriorated pretty much down to bone. And again, man, I mean, like when doctors said, yep, that's her all right, then like 55 dentists said, dude, that's a 55 tobacco chewing old man, you know, age 55. That is not a young 20-something-year-old lady. So Mr. Mabbitt did not have the remains of his daughter buried with the family. Right up the street from me, man. Right up the street is the family plot. But that's the number one, going back, that's the number one unsolved homicide in Carroll County. The two right there that we're talking on tonight is the second in that list. That's also unsolved. This one, they will find. They will know who did that. Because anybody that's going to shoot someone in the head and then set fire to the place to cover that, they can find that person with the motive really quick, real quick. So if that just happened like today or yesterday, we'll know who that is in a brief. Oh, wait. Yeah. What, on this? Oh, yeah, man. You know what? Hang on a second. Well, the batteries are low in this. Let me like really fire this up, though. I'll like take it to 80. Sounds a little dangerous, man. Let me wet this up. That dry hit's bad, man. You do not want to be on the bad end of a dry hit. You will gag. You will hurt. Wow, it tastes good. That really does taste like a Tim Ramsey custard. Tiramisu custard. It tastes just like a tiramisu custard. Never even had one, but I'll guarantee you if I ever tried one, I'd know exactly what it tastes like. I'd taste it and I'd be like, hold on. Yeah, exactly. Precisely. That's the Indian that she was playing and had everybody in America believing that she was. No, she's Romanian. Don't take me wrong. Nothing wrong with being Romanian. But I mean, like, it would be like me acting like I was a French guy. I'm not French. Hello? Like, hey, Papa, my name is Jacques. And people go like, hey, he's French. No, I'm not. I was lying. That's what it's like to me, man. It had me believing. Until I looked her up and I'm like, wait a minute. Her name's is like Sherilyn. What? What is it about meth? Well, I don't know. Might be the amphetamine effect. Oh no, it was really big around here for a while. Oh no, you know what? I had a friend that was hooked on it. Sure enough. Yeah, you know what? Try that with AT&T, man. You'll get Jeff. I always do. Hi, my name is Dave. Hey, Dave. How you doing, pal? You think he's just reading off of a script where today I'm Brian. Oh, okay, hi, I'm Brian. I wonder if they make him stick with the same name all the time. No, you're always going to be Jeff when you're on the phone, dude. I mean, I don't know. I just never met somebody from the country of India whose name was Jeff. Not saying that there ain't one out there, but I'm going to say you don't work for AT&T. You don't answer phone calls for AT&T all the time. Probably lives in the suburbs of Manhattan. Some crap like that. Well, he could speak English. That he could. I had to have him repeat a few things here and there. I did not tell him, sir, I pressed 1 for English. I don't care what they say. You know, I never get that person on the other side of the line like I used to. That, like, you know, it's like really cool. It's like, yeah, hang on a minute, dude. Just give me a freaking second. Let me work my magic. There you go. I just reduced your bill by $30 a month. Where did they come from? I remember they used to be there. I remember back in a better day. Man, my chat died again. Well, it's 8 o'clock. Oh, there it is. Yes, but I think that you're reading into the fact of what his wife had said in an email that I never got to see, but I'm not saying did not happen. I think that she would have been, and it was first thing I thought. I mean, I already knew it was him at that time. And when I seen that, I'm like, so what, man? He left here at 3, would have been home by 6. Big freaking deal. She gets off at 5. She's got to drive home and get ready. Oh, he could have just been ready and everything, man. Went out. Oh, I got you something special. And again, it was like law enforcement was saying at that time. If you can think back, because they likely had a reason for being late and it held water then, but what do you know now? You know, maybe somebody gave you some story that seemed fine at the time, but looking back now, you know, it don't hold that well. Well, there it is. That would be just as apt as the next. I mean, why would she say that? I believe it was because FBI had spoken to her. FBI likes to keep everything very top secret. Are TBs divorced? Are they? I don't know. Is TB divorced? Yes. Now, second time. Second wife is gone at this point, I do believe. Now, they could have stopped that because of hoax plague. But again, it's just like, man, if they're stopping that, and if they stop his jury trial because of the hoax plague, I'm calling direct bullshit. I will flip the fuck out. I will flip the fuck out. I will. Oh, man. Peace, John Claude. Thanks for being here. You know what? Jean-Claude, man, he won the European karate championship. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but it's true. And that lump on his head, man, yeah, that's how he got that. Wow, you know, spin back kick like right in the head, and he got that big knot. And then you never notice it until you notice it. And then once you notice it, you notice it's always there. He's always had that knot on his forehead. It's crazy, but it's true. And that's why I say that in the area of really kicking somebody's ass, real life kicking somebody's ass, Jean-Claude would be my go-to because he's been there. He's done it, man. And Benny the Jet, man. Anybody remember Benny the Jet? Benny the Jet Yakutas, man. He's a badass. Thanks for being here, Ivy Rose. Appreciate it. So, this has been. Wait a minute. How many thumbs up do I got? How many thumbs up do I have, everybody? In the 80s and 90s, that poor little girl, Flora. 87? You mean I couldn't have got 13 more likes? 13 more likes. There's 75 people here. God, it would only take a minute. I could exit with 100 likes like a champ. I ain't doing it. I ain't leaving. Now I'll sit here. You let me know when it hits 100. I'll sit here all night. Watch. Me and Puppy sitting here all night. That's right. Come on, man. God, it's just a second to hit the like button. I'll wait. Okay, time's up. Anyway, did any Rhonda Milburn? $89. You got 2 more, Puppy. Well played. Well played, little dude. Oh, 90. Yeah. This is the power puppies have. Thank you very much, John Sullivan. John E. Sullivan. Remember John L. Sullivan? John L. Sullivan was the first heavyweight champion in the world. Very first. Under the Marquess of Queensberry rules, That's back when they fought like this, They didn't really have any kind of... Nah, his name ain't Puff, but I did think about it. But again, it was kind of an added name for Woof, I always called him the Bear, Puffy Bear, the Puffy Woo, the Woo Bear. I went around the block. There was a billion names I called him, and I can only think of a million of them off the top of my head. Yeah. Well, that's fine. Sex sells. Sex sells, man. But I ask you, a woman in a bikini that you can never have? Or my puppy? That belongs to me. You decide. You decide with hitting the like button. If you want the woman you can't touch with, in a bikini, hit that like button, man. If you'd rather have my dog, then hit that like button. Just in the same way. It's easy. Thank you very much. Hey, 12 Cup Pizza, man. I ain't seen you in a long time, man. Where you been? Yeah, kind of caught you right in the act of sneaking on, didn't I? Huh? And 80. Barely that be. I'm getting high. Getting a little green. Like my screen, Okay, so now it's come to the time for the main gig of the show. I need questions, man, and I need questions that's going to make me think. The first person that gives me an honest question concerning Delphi murders that makes me think, that's a good question. I will send you a delightful piece of kibble in the mail. And it'll be little, what's your name? Bitey Bear. It'll be a kibble from a little Bitey Bear, man. You know what? I wouldn't have checked that because I think it was on Incognito's channel. I think it might have been Truth and Innocence, though. But they said they thought that his was postponed till the end of October. Now, when I went and looked for that, the only thing that came up is that it was set for October 13th. And I didn't see anything that cut that off and made it at a later time. Not saying that there isn't, but I did not see it. So since it has not been stopped, I'm still guesstimating that it is still on for October 13th, which is like 3 weeks away. About exactly 3 weeks away. In 21 days, the trial begins. Then what? One man will be shown to be right. Out of the masses of all earth, one man holds that ticket. That man now holds a puppy in his lap. And I think we know who we're talking about, don't we? No, I was talking about me. Me and my puppy. Don't fall, puppy. Please. You're on television. Well, you're at least on a webcam, right? Ow. Any guess on the odd signatures found at the crime scene? LAE can hold back evidence and possibly release some of this information. Not necessarily. And I'll tell you why. Because it is nobody, not a soul's business as to what took place at that crime scene. Nobody. I mean, like, what's somebody going to say? You know, I know somebody that's been talking about doing a murder like that. Exactly like that. How odd. I'm going to call and see if it isn't this guy, No, because it's just like I was saying earlier. I mean, from the time that they were abducted and to the time that he left the crime scene area, I have not a clue what happened. I mean, I know to some level what happened, but that's where it is. I have not focused my attention on what happened there. In fact, quite contrary. I am pointing to the evidence, facts, and circumstances as I know them to be and how they do fit TJB. And I told you where he is, what he has done, and how he did it, and why they're holding back, why the briefing, why the whole promotion of BS while they wait for him to get convicted. So all these states can go down, talk to him, and file murder charges. I've been very forthright about it. Tell me where I'm wrong. Hey, Sean 85, how you doing, dude? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I give you that. Very much so. Man, that's a good question. Hey, PA Deer Hunters. How you doing, man? Dedicated the show already. Want you to know that. To you. What question am I most bothered by that has not been answered yet? There really isn't one. I mean, there really isn't. And I get the same thing. But normally when people ask a question, they base it off a theory. They base it off of somebody else's crap. It's like, well, let's say for a second it's not TJB. Then would you think it's him? No, because I still know the criteria and I know what kind of criteria this person has to meet in order to be that person. And if this other person does not meet that criteria, then at 100%, it is not them. It cannot be them. I'm sorry. Sorry, it has to be that way. But if you know the facts and the circumstances and so forth, you'd go, oh, yeah, that's right. It can't be him. But people hold on to that. And that's the dope I don't want you doing. I don't want you guys out there warming your nose up to some good dope, believing this other crap. I don't care how they present it. I give not a rat's behind. I don't care what title they throw out. I don't care in what manner they go about saying it to you. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Now, I want you to ask yourself this. Let's say that your child, if you're a parent that would be at about that age, let's say they just wasn't coming home again. How would you feel about people peddling like tabloid journalism online about it and not doing a damn thing? I mean, that right there tells me that that's how far released these people are from reality. They hop on anything, not giving a rat's ass whether it's real or not. They don't care, man. As long as I get views, who gives a shit, right? That's the way people operate, man. And I'm telling you, I find that to be wrong. I find them to be my common enemy. And I know them when I see them show up, man. I'm like, yeah, that's one of them. And I can't wait to boot them. And normally I got somebody on here that's already booted them at that time. But I don't really have any question. Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. In fact, I can name various things that they have. I can show you the circumstances where they lied, and I can show you absolute proof that they did lie. And, oh, no, it's B-E-A-R, not bear. Yeah, ain't trying to be naughty with my puppy. I mean, yeah, of course he ain't wearing no clothes. He's a natural nudist, though. He gets that by instinct. Oh, yeah. Hey, now, see, that's a question right there that would take me a couple of months to answer. Like, literally. I'd go back on my channel, man. Go back 2 years ago and watch it to present. You'll know why. There is a lot of reasons. There's every reason. In fact, I mean, I can say number one on that was St. Louis calling Carroll County. Hey, one, we got a guy we arrested for first-degree murder, 3 counts of sodomy. Looks like your sketch, Carroll County. He was dressed like Bridge Guy when doing this. He had never been arrested before and had no DNA or fingerprints in the database to be matched to. He might be your guy. Here's some photos, man. You might want to take him to the people that seen him. That right there was kind of my first hit on that. But when I looked at the guy's mugshot, I'm like, oh, hold on. So I'm like, yeah, holy shit, better start checking into this guy. And since that time, found everything needed. Look at it on my channel. Be a fact checker and look into what I say. Yeah, do that. Bobby Tarantino. Man, why are you crying? Do you need to go out or something? What? Have we hit 100 likes? Did we hit 100 likes, anybody? Did we? He don't really have a name. I was going to go with El Jefe, but nobody can pronounce it. Everybody just like dumbfounded, like, Heifer, what? Huh? Yeah, fuck it. He has no name. I'll work on it, man. Give me a minute. I want people to at least pronounce my puppy's name. 92? What? No, puppy. We're still at 92. 77? Holy shit. I don't think this is working, dude. What? No, it's 92, look. 92. People do not care, puppy. They just don't. They just don't care. Yes, I do. Yes, I do believe it. Hey, you're Kenny. Kenny, can you call my show? Can you call my show if I give you the number? Would you do that? Tell me if you would. Throw up a Y or no or something. If so, man, I'm going to throw my number up. Bam. There you go. There you go. Call it. Call in. See, you didn't get to make it on Incog's channel the other night, man. Do it, dude. Call in. I'm going to have Kenny on in a minute. It's going to be cool to talk to Kenny. I was on his side, man. I was. It's like hoping he'd get on the Incog show. Yo.
Yes. Hello. This is the Chinese buffet.
What do you know? The cunt's watching. He always watches. You know what I like about it? I'll tell you why. That means that he has nothing better to do with his life than to sit and watch my show to be a fucking cunt. Oh. Who do you think this is? Pretty good, you? Yeah. Like how long?
Got them kids, you know. Can I tell you my theory?
Yeah, go ahead.
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's a truck driver that was over at Indiana Packers. I think it's a serial killer. You know, if you look at, I've seen some on Indiana Packers, their website. Those truckers sometimes are there for maybe 24 hours. They're there for a long time sometimes.
Yeah.
And, you know,
hey, Kenny, could you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Kill the YouTube. Or turn the volume off.
I just did because I could hear the feedback.
Yeah, I was getting some of that. Go ahead, continue.
I'm getting nervous hearing my crummy voice too.
Nah, you sound good, dude. You sound good.
Anyway, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking he's a truck driver. Was over at Indiana Packers. He's a killer. I mean, this guy's a bad guy. You know, Mike, I look at the satellite. He could walk from Indiana Packers. He could cross through the Carroll County transfer station. Beyond, I think it's 625 West. It leads straight down into the private driveway.
Uh-huh.
Now, if you look, you think, oh, how could he have not been seen? Well, okay, it's a good question, but you know what? There's only a few houses between there, Mike. There's not that many. It's February. There's not leaves on the trees. You know, maybe he could have done some hedgerows. He could have cut into some woods there. But it's not that far to the bridge from there, like, I don't know, a mile and a quarter or something. I think he could have made it down there pretty easy. And out of there, I don't, you know, same thing, kind of, or maybe he waited till dark. He had about 2 hours from the crime till dark, you know. He could have snuck back there. And that's kind of, I'm thinking it's not a local guy. I can't lie. Your Thomas Bruce theory, yeah, it's a possible one too. He looks good, but you know, we had this serial killer out here. I'm from New Jersey. We had this guy named Adam Leroy Lane. They got him, and that's how he was. Same deal. He killed 2 women, and finally, they got him up in Massachusetts. He broke into a house, and but you know, truck drivers got a history of there's a fair amount of them that have been killers. So that's kind of where I'm leaning at. It's not a local one, and anyway, that's my deal. And hey, I like you. I like your stuff. I like you know, I'm hoping Greeno's gonna get out and.
You know what? I kind of got some news on Greeno, but I don't want to be the one to hand that out.
Right.
Well, because I'm kind of working in conjunction with others. and I think that it is something that they would probably want to release at a later time.
Got you.
But he may not be behind bars for very long. In fact, he was trying to get modified Morgan County to go to Carroll County, and he would get that modification on the 22nd, which I believe is tomorrow, right? Nope, today.
Today, yeah, today's the 22nd. Yeah.
So if he was getting that modification, but he said that he might have to maintain there until for 2 weeks, because I think he was going to fight extradition because he didn't want to do any time in Carroll. But
right.
But if he did modify, you know, he might be getting out pretty soon. You know, I sent him a letter, but right now he can't really send letters, to my knowledge. You know, and people that was writing him or sending him emails to the jail got their stamps taken away. So I think that that was because somebody had recorded him on a video chat and so on.
Right. Well, you know, it seems like you and Anthony are about the only guy. Well, Incognito's cool and a couple of the other folks, but you guys are kind of my go-to guys for YouTube. And honestly, your guys' knowledge is to me is on the stick. There's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of really bad ones out there. I can't stand them. It's like they're stupid, but whatever. Maybe I'm stupid too, but I like watching your guys' stuff. You guys are on the stick. You know, the one other thing I see on a lot of these on the forums and the chats, very few people hold up the dog walking lady thing. I've seen people like, oh, you know, they say it's BS or whatever, and I'm like, I know it ain't. I know you got, and that's like, I mean, she saw this guy, man. She was face to face with this guy.
Yeah.
And I know she took off for parts unknown and whatever. And I actually know you guys.
Not actually.
I'm sorry.
She didn't take off for parts unknown. I mean, she did. But the thing is, I mean, she's well within reach of law enforcement. I mean, they know where she is. But she felt very upset, man, about living in that house, knowing that the suspect knew where she lived, right. and then knowing that law enforcement had no idea who that guy was, that person would say, okay, she turned in the facial details on me, so I can go to her house and kill her, you know, and that's what she was afraid of.
Oh, hey, I don't blame the woman, but I mean, well, you know, that's the one. This is one confirmed for sure eyewitness of this killer. And you know what? I mean, that's the other ones. You know, the girl that saw him. And
I don't know about any girl.
The girl, some young girl saw him and she gave him a menacing stare or something. I don't know. Like, this is the one we know for sure.
Man.
That's this guy.
Yeah, you can tell the BS when you hear, you know. Yeah. Flannel shirt guy, he was the other one. I know that he's seen him leaving. Mike Patty's also talked about that. I mean, he's the man that's seen him walking toward the exit. So, you know, that's two that I know of. Anything outside of that, my question is always, how do you know that? Law enforcement never released that. They never said about some girl getting a menacing stare, but somebody running tabloid journalism on a YouTube site, sure enough, said it. And then everybody will go, that's how they got it. That's how it went. Well, how did he get that information? Did law enforcement tell him? Did this young person go up and go, he walked by me and gave me a menacing stare? Right. What the hell? No, I don't think this guy was menacing, staring anybody when leaving, and probably just wanted to get the F out and get out of there as quick as possible.
Guy, you are correct about that. They've never released, well, heck, they haven't released much, which I pretty much get. But, well, anyway, I won't keep you much longer. I appreciate you having talking to me and everything.
Well,
and,
you know, you didn't get on Incognitos the other night.
You know what? I couldn't. I got a work phone, and I couldn't get on Google or whatever the heck it was. I couldn't do the patch through thing. You know what I'm saying? So I need a microphone, I guess, I just got a desktop computer. I got no microphone. I'm a 61-year-old guy. I'm not very tech savvy. You know what I mean?
Well, let me tell you something. Kenny. What you want to get is the USB Blue Yeti.
Okay.
Because that is the number one mic that I know of for YouTube. It's what I operate with. And there's a reason that I sound like a rock star. And it's because my Blue Yeti, man. See, I was on here last week and I was using my webcam microphone. And I'm like, yeah, I sound like shit this week. But, man, with this thing, it is solid, man. I did not have that for like 2 weeks. 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks. And I was at a loss. So I really had to get that back. And it took hours of digging and going through shit to get it back enabled. But it's back. But it is a great mic, man. Never let me down. I love the Blue Yeti, dude. Love it.
All right, I wrote it down. I'll see. I don't know, Mike. I don't really.
Dude, you need a shot.
It's the first time I've ever even done this. Hey, I got a bunch of family in Indiana, down in the northern Indianapolis area. And,
oh, really?
I love this state, man. I come out for the 500, but this year would have been my 21st Indy 500.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be out there, But I got a couple of grandbabies out there, and up around there, Zionsville, Carmel, the Fishers area, and.
You know what? My landlord's daughter lives there in Zionsville.
Yeah, it's nice, man. It's a nice area, and you Hoosiers are good folks, buddy.
Hey. I'm not going to call the guy a liar.
All right, hey Mike.
Yo.
Good talking to you, buddy.
Good talking to you, Kenny.
I'll be keeping an eye on your stuff.
All right, man. You have a good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Peace. And that was Kenny.
Kenny.
Oh, cool.
I'll be keeping an eye.
Hello? Oh. Yeah, I killed the sound on it. Okay. So, well, I guess being 8:37, probably should call it an eve here. Me and my puppy, who right now I'm just calling whiny, bitey little man, we enjoyed the fact that you stopped by this week at 6 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday. Didn't wait for a notification, as indicated up front. Mods, viewers, donators, all of y'all, everybody that's viewing this, anybody that's liked, anybody that's shared, even the people that just tuned in to view, love all of you, man. And want you all to have a fantastic week, a great weekend, and I will catch you next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Peace, y'all.